8 months old, boys?
Yeah, 8 months old.
Right. I'm trying to treat you like a human being here, and I'm going to tell you now.
I really appreciate you joining me today, and this is some news coming from Liverpool. Thank you to everybody that watched the last episode of Street News that is nearly on 200,000 views in one day. This means that the news that matters is trending alongside not so important news. This story comes from Toxteth, and thank you to the viewer that sent the footage for us to be able to see what occurred at the time. It happened at 10 to 11 yesterday on Lodge Lane, and a male suffered multiple stab wounds. He's aged in his 20s and he's currently in a critical condition in hospital, and the police have launched an attempted murder investigation. Ritson Street and Lodge Lane were shut down for several hours while forensic officers gathered evidence. Alternative routes for other transport was put in place. Detective Chief Inspector John Fitzgerald said inquiries in the early stages and the victim's family have been made aware. He said this would have happened at a very busy time and around 10:30 p.m, but the police weren't called until 11. It's believed that he walked a bit further down the road from where he was stabbed. Due to this violence, police have introduced a Section 60 order in Toxteth on Sunday the 5th of March. Following the recent incident, the order runs from 6 p.m. today till 6 a.m. tomorrow the 6th of March, and extra officers will be provided for a visible presence in the area. The Section 60 order gives the police enhanced powers to stop and search any individual in the area for any reason. Inspector Emma Hafferden from the Matrix Operation said, "We're introducing the Section 60 as a response to the violence that has been ongoing. This order is one of many measures that we will do to try to disrupt any violence that people try to participate in." So hopefully that man pulls through, and I'll definitely give you an update on anything to do with that story. Going over to Manchester, Greater Manchester in Salford for this next story. A 15-year-old boy has been stabbed outside a McDonald's at 7:10 yesterday on Saturday the 4th of March. Police were called to concerns of welfare in Baston Drive, Salford, but they believe that he was stabbed a further distance away in High Broughton, Salford, outside the McDonald's. A Section 60 order was also authorised in the area, and police increased their patrols and searched individuals. Superintendent Mark Kenny said, "We have authorised this to try to prevent further violence in the local area." And this is definitely a recurring theme, as you can see, with several of these stories involving Section 60s and sporadic violence popping up. Staying in the north of England, but going over to Bolton with this other story. A big up to all the local people in Bolton that got involved and prevented this child abduction from occurring. It happened on Mare Street at 6:30 on the 22nd of February. I've also now received video footage of the moment that he was arrested by the police after being held down by locals when he tried to kidnap the child. BBC News reported that the child was seriously injured during the attempted abduction as well, that was thwarted by members of the public. Detective Inspector Tony Lunt said the quick and brave work of the members of the public helped to detain the male, and he was arrested. He's 23 years old. The condition of the child and mother is okay. They are very shaken, but they will survive, they said. And it's been treated as an isolated incident, but they've increased the patrols over the next few days to reassure the public. So again, like I said, amazing work, and people often tell me to try to include positive stories, and I need you guys to send me them stories to news@scarcitystudios.com, and I'll try to feature as many as possible.
8 months old, boys?
Yeah, 8 months old.
Right. I'm trying to treat you like a human being here, and I'm going to tell you now. Relax your left arm and let us put it behind your back. 8 months old, boys?
And in this final story, it comes from Lincoln, and it involves a man that tried to escape from police, and it shows the new tactics that they use involving drones. A man trying to escape police swam across a river, but he was being followed by a drone. He didn't realise the police were on the other side of the river, and they just waited for him. He was even doing a breaststroke. He was later arrested on suspicion of driving offences. And this next story comes from Leeds. Police have identified the victim of a murder on March the 2nd on Thursday. Peter Wass, 29 years old from Roundhay, has been named. He was murdered in the Chapel Town area on the junction of Hamilton Place and Hamilton Avenue at 2:30 p.m. Police and West Yorkshire Homicide and Major Inquiry Team are carrying out extensive inquiries, and they are trying to identify people that are involved. No arrests have been made yet. The investigating officer, Detective Chief Inspector Sam Freeman, said Peter's family are devastated at this sudden and violent circumstances of his death. We have specially trained police supporting them, and we will continue the investigation into this murder. So this is very early days in this story, but I'm definitely going to follow it as I followed other stories from Chapeltown in the past. And thank you to all the Leeds viewers and subscribers and followers on social media. In relation to a story from Huddersfield, 2 teenagers have been remanded and appeared at Leeds Crown Court, charged with the murder of 17-year-old Harley Brown from Huddersfield on the 20th of February. The teenagers are 14 and 16, so they can't be named for legal reasons in this country, but they were remanded after being charged. 2 other teenage males were arrested on suspicion of murder, but they have been bailed. 2 females, aged 17 and 19, were arrested in connection, and they have been bailed. Investigations into the murder of Harley started on the 20th of February after he was attacked on Kingsmill Lane. I want to send my condolences to the family of Harley, and we'll definitely follow the trial and the outcome. And it's another big reminder that it isn't just the big cities that are affected by violence and especially knife crime. So I really appreciate you joining me for this roundup. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Don't forget to send your stories to news@Scarcity Studios, and also stay safe and have a good week. Peace.